Benzema. Goal pa me neck, nah give me eczema. Big baller, call me Benzema. Anyway you see me, you have to see 10 killer.
Alright guys, welcome back to the Juggle each and every Monday right here on Slam 100.5, 6 to 7 p.m. It's your boy Jassy Marika, and of course, as always, keeping me company with his esteemed football perspective. It is the self-proclaimed, let me put out the disclaimer. The self-proclaimed football high priest Stefano is in the building. So, well, nothing wrong with that, you know, Stefano. I love yourself, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on now. So as we wind down just about 15 more minutes on the inside in today's program, of course, we would have talked about the hot topic, Arsenal FC. We went very easy on y'all today, Arsenal. We gave y'all a blight today. Yeah. Whether they can rebound or is this the new norm? Is this where Arsenal Football Club has come to? Is this now firmly in the hierarchy of English Premier League football and of course in the wider picture of European football? Is Arsenal Football Club now a mid-table team, a has-been team, a team more on their way down than on the way up?
Club.
It seems so far by your calls and contributions via WhatsApp that this is the case, and only time will tell whether Mikel Arteta survives the axe, whether he gets the axe. You know, it's left to be seen. Now, we're going to go around the world, and I see the phone boards already lighting up. We're going to take some calls in a short bit, but I just want to take you guys to Nice, France.
Big baller, call me Benzema. Goal pa me neck, nah give me eczema. Big baller, call me Benzema.
Over the weekend, you know, was the scene of a really, really ugly sight in football and sport. You know, we never want to see this sort of thing. And let me just give you a quick synopsis. A French League soccer match between Nice and Marseille was abandoned on Sunday when Marseille refused to restart the game after home fans earlier threw projectiles and invaded the field. Unverified photos on social media showed at least 3 players were injured. The game had initially been suspended because of the fan violence, with about 15 minutes to go when it was eventually decided to restart play. The hosts Nice were 1-0 ahead. Marseille refused to return to the field. And of course, if you have not seen by now, you'd have seen Dimitri Payet and several other players throwing those projectiles that were thrown at them, and some of them were actually hit, throwing it back into the stands, which kind of
that sparked the whole fans coming onto the field.
It's true. I would say it didn't spark it. It was already a lit atmosphere, and that sort of fueled the fire of what we eventually saw. And I mean, I found it so coincidental because I've been looking at a Netflix documentary, Untold: Malice at the Palace, which went behind the scenes of that infamous brawl between the Detroit Pistons and the Indiana Pacers all those years ago. Ron Artest, a central figure in that. And, you know, it's something that you never want to see, but how far is too far? We know players may sometimes provoke fans. Celebrating, Emmanuel Adebayo, for instance, comes to mind as we're talking Arsenal, when he ran the length of the pitch to celebrate in front of the Arsenal fans. And we know that the players do sometimes go overboard, but the fans do. And a lot of persons are saying it's sacred, it's blasphemous almost for a player to go into the fan or to retaliate towards a fan. But how far is too far? You know, because a lot of the time, especially in the context of the climate of sport globally now, where players feel as though they are not human, less than human in many instances, even when people might say they make X amount of dollars and these millions, but they are made to feel sometimes like objects more than human.
You're always expected as a player, and I agree with you 100%, to maintain that level of professionalism, you know, in the face of whatever fans throw at you. My issue with it, Jassy, is I wasn't even sure in watching the game what caused the fans to throw the bottled water and stuff at Payet. You know, so to me, I'm asking myself, was that racially motivated? You know, because he did not antagonize the fans. So what were the reasons for them turning or throwing those objects at the Marseille players?
Now, I know Marseille is a much hated team in France.
Yes.
Each and every year, I as recently as last season, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
they had an issue with
there was-
Montpellier.
yeah. And even with PSG, where fans were told not to go into the city of Marseille,
Correct.
so as to not provoke such instances. But I mean, regardless of even that, I think it is completely unacceptable to attack a player, and even vice versa for a player to attack a fan. Let's hear what you guys think. We're going to open the phone lines and take a few calls on this matter. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Juggle.
Afternoon, fellas.
Yeah, man. Josiah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
With the incident with France, right? And not just with France alone, but players in general. Like, I understand players are supposed to be able to keep their cool, whatnot, but if, like, the fans keep provoked, like, if the fans keep chucking the beehive, at one point they will get stung. The players will retaliate at one point. Same thing with Granit Xhaka a few seasons ago. Yeah, I understand he didn't perform too well, but he getting booed. And they booing their own captain, and I understand as the captain, you're not supposed to retaliate so much. But the man was angered at his own fans.
So in your opinion, this entire incident on the weekend went too far?
Yeah, it did go too far with the invasion on the pitch even when it was suspended with fans all over the pitch. That was uncalled for.
So, Fano, what would you have done, boy, as a
Projectile
player in that situation? You seeing this swell of fans coming down, you know that the security is not going to be enough. Thanks, Josiah. Thank you very much for calling and your support as always, man.
Mm-hmm.
I would have I want to be as
High tail it?
honest. No, I want to take a couple with me.
I feel you, Rabs.
I rabs in them. You know why? Because you're looking at the whole climate around the OGC on a serious note, and seeing the racial divide across all sports. So you saw it with the NBA, you saw it with American football, you see it with quote-unquote soccer and what we call football. And I think, now everybody is so frustrated. One, with the pandemic, and two, with these issues, police brutality and all these different things. So I think now it's very difficult to ask these players who've been through this to show this level of professionalism at all times, especially in the face of something like that, unprovoked. They didn't even score and celebrate in front of the fans to say, you provoked them. This was unprovoked. I taken a couple with me, boy.
Let's hear what the rest of persons on the outside have to say. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Juggle.
Yes, my brothers. It was reminiscent of the Malice in the Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually reminiscent of the whole bottle through and thing, but
Everything.
I still find as a professional, Kai should have the capacity to, control himself, boy, because, it's on video, they have the technology, and those fans, I'm sure they would have been dealt with in the end.
So you're saying that situation could have taken care of itself.
Yeah, I think it would
without
have.
that sort of reaction.
Yeah, I think the reaction is what caused. But I'm not giving no thing to the fans. That the fans was real wrong in the first place. So, because anybody launching anything from the stands, even as we look at a while back when they threw the banana at Dani Alves.
Yeah.
And he eat it, and from eating it, he get the juice for the pass to score the goal. I just recheck and but that's just one instance. But I think in a case like that, boy.
But would you say? But if you try to put yourself in that position, it's unimaginable to any one of us. But
right, yeah, exactly.
Having something thrown in your direction is one thing, but being hit.
Think I could speak for myself from previous experiences sweating with priests. I would have got into the rabs, and Priest would have taken out 3-4 with a high jump kick to the chest.
Hey, brother.
Honestly speaking, because you see those big fellas, Priest will. they would have taken out a couple of them.
13s and up.
Taken out. Yes, I think Priest would have dealt with them very, very brutal. But I think at the professional level,
But give or take, I want to ask you something. It's easy for us to sit down here and say, professionalism and this and that. What I'm saying, you're comparing it to the time when Dani Alves got hit with a banana and he ate it. What I'm saying is the climate that we are in right now, with the amount of racial issues that we are having across sport and in the world in general, coupled with COVID-19 frustration, people are frustrated,
yes.
give or take. I think it's very difficult at this point to ask a player, or if a player retaliates, to foul them, especially if it's unprovoked. You understand where I'm
I
coming
can
from?
understand where you're coming from at this moment in time. I
Correct.
understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just
with the
think it's very
situation
difficult.
given.
Correct.
Yeah, that is true, priest. That is true. Well, I guess the only thing you could do from here now is observe that, and I guess protocols have to be put in place, to prevent those, or I guess to deal with situations that would happen like that.
Yeah,
Further,
they have to put barriers on the field to block off the fans from entering
or like
engaging directly with the players.
Or like in the apertura where they put the fence.
The what?
The fence.
No.
In the way?
In the apertura.
Hey, give us
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, later. It was
Good
nice. It was nice.
This man is just, hey, boy.
I don't even know what he's saying.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Juggle.
Yes, good night.
Yes, man. What's going on?
Being a professional doesn't change the fact that these players are human. And according to the previous caller was just saying about the choking in being there, choking. They will trip at times, They will trip, and the fans of what they overdo it. I think they overdo it. I was launching back at them too.
You see, this is what I really want to get.
Rabs.
If you were in this situation, what would you have done?
Yes, I launch it back at you. I lie on the ground in pain. I could be faking, and you launching at me. I launch it back, and I just take up and there, I'm taking down about 10 hours before they come.
Hey, let me just put out a disclaimer that the Juggle in no form or fashion supports violence, whether it would be retaliation or not. We do, however, support rabs and banter. Right? So we slowly approaching the end of yet another action-packed edition of the Juggle. Yeah? Stefano?
Yeah, I think we steamrolling along.
Let me and I don't mean to dwell. I know sometimes it comes across as though we're dwelling, but
Yeah.
I just got a message here on the WhatsApp that this is from 354. He said, according to reports, Arteta got 5 matches to turn it around. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I did a quick search here, and I'm seeing if I can. And I must say, some of the sources are not reputable sources, but I am seeing here via Sportsmax a solution being offered by none other than Sol Campbell,
Right.
an Arsenal legend in his own right,
Mm-hmm.
and a man who has worked with Trinidad and Tobago's
Trinidad
own
football,
senior
yeah.
national team.
Mm-hmm.
And his solution is just give me the job,
Give who the job?
give him the job,
Give Sol Campbell the job?
give Sol Campbell the job. He's saying
Give
just
him the head coach
position.
position
Yeah.
at Arsenal Football Club?
Yeah.
Probably the under 6s, under 10s or something.
So Sol Campbell, in your position, is in your opinion, is from the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah, I mean, what you're gonna take out Mikel Arteta to put in Sol Campbell? So what has Sol Campbell done in the management fraternity to justify that he's gonna do a better job than Arteta? You know. If I was taking a chance, honestly, I would have taken a chance on Patrick Vieira as compared to this. Sol Campbell can't even manage my fat match team.
Don't do that now,
Crazy.
man. Don't do that. So, hey, Verse on the inside will come on. Verse is saying that he would have taken out his frustration on goal. Make sure the team that they support lose bad. And he thinks that would have been a more hurtful retribution on the fans, and on the flip side, he's saying to tell Sol Campbell to go and sell water. Verse, cool it now. Cool it. Somebody is saying, let Sol relax himself. I think we need a change from the top. Cronky needs to sell and let Ori and company run the
We
team.
should have asked them what they think about Conte, because I was seeing some reports
Mhm.
that Conte
Is being considered.
is being considered should they decide to axe Arteta.
Well,
That's a
if we take your logic is, this is a man of experience. This is a man that has won it
is
all
a man who
minus the World Cup.
he
He's
wants
won.
everything Antonio Conte's way.
Yeah.
You understand what? The Cronkies, they don't operate like that. So, I think, look, Inter Milan. You know, they just won the Scudetto, and the board basically told him, you know, look, we have to ship off some players because we have some financial problems, and he left immediately. So he is somebody, I think that's a combustible situation, an accident waiting to happen. And you know, just as a supporter of another club, I want Mikel Arteta to stay on.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think we could conclude on that note. In fact, let me just read out quickly. I think this is give and take here with his apertura. He's trying to get the pronunciation here in homage of his Argentinian Primera Division. Yeah, you had to let it ring off the tongue. Yeah, give and take. Yeah, what to do, right? Don't call back this show for the rest of the month, right? Because I find
you overdoing it, man.
You're all overdoing it.
You're overdoing it now.
Hey, big up Happy on the inside. Happy. Thank you very much. So, guys, that brings us painfully to the end of what we can consider to be a new Monday staple.
Yeah, definitely.
Each and every Monday, 6 to 7 p.m. right here on Slam 100.5. It's the Juggle. Rabs and banter, everything football, and of course we're going to be delving into health and wellness as well. A little bit of something for everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm really serious about that next topic. I think we need to tackle the benefit to the mental health of the sweat.
Yeah, we are think for them, man. We are think for them.
Sweat. So we're gonna delve deep into that in a kind of scientific way, I think.
Yeah, we are think for them. Don't worry.
So once again, on behalf of the Football High Priest, I am Jasper Marie signing out on this edition of the Juggle. Right here on Slam 100.5. You can catch us again next week, Monday, 6 to 7 p.m. Yeah, day before the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
We will be here.
Yeah, we're drinking Jack.
And of course, hey, come on now.
Drinking some Jack.
And of course,
Apple.
If you haven't done so already, you can join us on Facebook and Instagram. It's Instagram at the Juggle. So let me just let you know. Let's talk Jack. Jack Daniels Tennessee whiskey, 100% real Tennessee whiskey, made with 100% of the best ingredients. Introducing our latest innovation, Jack Daniels Tennessee Apple. Enjoy the bold, refreshing taste of crisp green apple that's exceptionally smooth, 100% smooth, 100% authentic, 100% Jack Daniels. It's now available nationwide, and when you go out and you cup it, please enjoy it. Please drink responsibly.
Mm-hmm.
Big baller, got my Benzema. Goal pa me neck, nah give me eczema. Big baller, got my Benzema. Anyway you see me, you a 10 killer.